Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Certified nutritionist and keto specialist Samantha Souza here, and today we're going to learn how to make eggnog keto. It's one of the easiest things to make keto because basically, if I'm being honest, you can follow any sort of eggnog recipe and just substitute the sweetener. That's the only thing that really holds people back, that and milk, because milk has 12 grams of carbs per cup, which is a big no-no on keto. So if you substitute that with an unsweetened almond milk, that's really all you need other than the sweetener. If you want to click out of this video already, go on ahead. But if you want to know my method of doing eggnog and making it keto, then stick around. Like recipe videos like this, I'll do more of them if they are popular with you all. So make sure that you like and subscribe and comment down below for what next recipe you would like me to put out there. Now, commonly with eggnogs, a lot of recipes either call for whipping up your egg whites and then folding them into the yolks. For me, in prior experiences, once you put that into the fridge and let it sit for like overnight or a few days, it really starts to separate. There's a lot of water and protein in egg whites that it just doesn't keep very well. That's a great, amazing, frothy method. If you're going to serve this right away, go ahead and do that. But for the majority of us, I'm sure you're not necessarily having a big old party this year, 2020, RIP. So we're going to make it so that it really lasts long in the fridge as well. So I've split my eggs into egg yolks and egg whites. I'm going to save the whites to make a keto meringue cookie, which is also great. Let me know if you want me to put that on the channel as well. Okay, so I have my little 1 cup measuring spoon, and I'm telling you this is super easy. Like I said, I already have 6 egg yolks in this bowl. It looks like 4 or 5, but it's 6. I just broke a couple of them. It's not a big deal if you get some of the whites in there, no problem at all. And in my little sauce pot, I'm going to be putting in 1 cup each of unsweetened. I like the vanilla flavor. You can do plain if you like. We're going to be adding in additional vanilla anyway, so it's kind of like, all right. Make sure it's unsweetened. If it doesn't say unsweetened, then you're not really saving a lot of carbs here. So make sure that you use unsweetened vanilla. Almond milk, you can use any sort of non-dairy milk as long as it's unsweetened. Really up to you. I think this works really well with macadamia nut milk as well. So I'm going to do 1 cup of this as well as 1 cup of the heavy whipping cream. If you want it to be a little bit lighter in texture and more drinkable, you can do half and half. But the thing that makes eggnog really special is that really thick sort of mouthfeel, and that's what we're all here for, right? So I'm going to do equal parts of those two. Okie dokie. We are going to do a tablespoon of vanilla. Really try and get good quality vanilla, not vanilla extract or something that tastes too alcohol-y. It's not really what we're after, but again, whatever you have is fine. Now, when it comes to spices, I like to use allspice, cinnamon, and nutmeg. If you have cloves, that's great. If you have like a pumpkin pie spice, that'll do just fine. I don't have clove currently, so I'm going to be using a little bit of this pumpkin pie spice blend extract. If you have cloves, you don't have to do this. You can go with just even these 3 if you like. I just like that really clove flavor, so I'm just going to do a little dash of this. But again, this is optional. Now, when I like things really cinnamony, so I'm going to do a good portion. And again, this is not an exact science. This is going to be to taste, but you want cinnamon to be the predominant flavor, and then ground nutmeg. If you can get fresh nutmeg, nothing compares to fresh nutmeg. But worst case scenario, if you don't have that, try and just buy a fresh container, because when it comes to spices, nutmeg in particular really tends to just kind of go off over time. If it's possible, try and get fresher nutmeg. And I like to do a good hefty bit of this, but a little does go a long way, so we don't do as much as cinnamon, and you can always top your eggnog off with it as well. And then I like a little bit of allspice, and this is probably going to be the one that you do the least of, so just a couple of shakes, and that should be good. And believe it or not, we're all set. At this point, we're going to get this to a sort of not a rolling boil, but a light simmer boil, and we're going to slowly incorporate it into our eggs. So I'm going to do that, and then while that's going, we're going to be whisking in our Swerve or whatever sweetener you prefer to use into our egg yolks. My philosophy with sweetener is that you could always add more, but you can never take away. And when it comes to artificial sugar substitutes, it can be the kind of thing where once you've gone too far, it kind of has that cloying, weird taste to it, and then you can never go back. So I always like to err on the side of caution. So I'm only doing a half a cup of Swerve, which is my preferred sweetener. Whatever you use, make sure you are using confectioners. You do not want to have granular, grainy bits of sweetener in there. You want it to be powdered. If you don't have powdered Swerve or something similar on hand, you can always run it through the blender and it'll turn into a powder consistency. So that can save you a trip to the grocery store. So now I've got my confectioners in there, and I'm just going to literally whip this until it becomes light and sort of frothy. And ideally, if you have a hand mixer, that's even better. That's going to get you to the consistency that you want a little bit faster. Okay, as you can see, now that I've been whipping it for a little while, it's a decent workout too. I'll tell you, if you have a hand mixer, go for it. If you want to skip a day at the gym doing biceps, go ahead and do this. You can whip it yourself, but it's got a very pale yellow consistency, and I could probably even stand doing this a little bit longer, but my arm's getting tired. It's got that nice glossy pale custardy look to it, and that's what we're going for. If you were to use egg whites in the recipe, you would whip them to stiff peaks and then fold them in now. We're not doing that, but if you wanted to do that, that's when you would do it. So my liquid mixture has boiled, and now it's cooling off a little bit. This is the most critical part of the entire thing, is tempering in that warm cream into the eggs without scrambling them. So the best way to do it is to literally just do it a tablespoon or so at a time and mix, and then just kind of take it on and off and then see until the eggs sort of accept all of that cream. And then honestly, at that point, you put it in the fridge for a couple hours, it sets and you're good. And it's pretty much done. It's the easiest, simplest recipe, but let's continue with this part. I wish you could smell this cream. It is, oh my God, just so fragrant with all of those delicious spices. I'm going to take a little bit out because again, I don't want to risk curdling these eggs with this super hot cream, but we do want to cook the eggs for safety. Literally just that much. Don't try and rush this process. There will come a point where you've incorporated enough of the heat to where the eggs have been tempered and you can put a whole bunch more cream in. But you don't want to risk that in the beginning. Oh my God, this smells so good, you guys, I cannot even tell you. All right, so far so good. No lumps, let's keep going. Whew, let's give the left hand a try. A little risky there. All right, so far so good. I think at this point we might be safe. Oh, it smells so good. All right, I think at this point we might be all right to just put the rest of it in. The bowl is actually very hot now. So if we don't have any scrambled eggs, at this point, we're not gonna get them. It appears pretty watery right now, But once you put this in the fridge to set, it will thicken up. So don't be alarmed. So I've just funneled all of my contents into this old eggnog container that was left over from my family. I'm going to be putting a special label on it so that it's mine and my healthful version. Everybody knows that it's not the traditional bad stuff. And that's pretty much it. It's gonna go in the fridge for a couple of hours before really setting up and getting that super thick consistency. And of course we want it to cool off. But this is a great, super easy recipe. And if you like things like this, please comment down below, let me know. Also tell me what recipes you'd like me to do next. I know this year hasn't been all that we thought it would be or could be, but at least we can have some healthful versions of some holiday comforts right in the fridge at our home, and we can have the best holiday season that we possibly can. So wrap yourselves up in your close friends and loved ones near and far, and have a beautiful 2021.